The great hall of the Galactic Council was full of excited voices. Representatives from 12 different alien species had come to watch something they had waited for a long time. Today, they would announce the end of humanity. Ambassador HFY stepped up to the transmission platform. His tall, thin body gleamed under the bright lights. His forearms moved in what his species considered a gesture of triumph. Behind him, the curved walls of the council chamber showed images of burning human cities and destroyed spaceships. "Citizens of the galaxy," HFY began. His voice was cold and sharp, like breaking glass. "Today marks the end of a great threat to our peaceful civilization. The humans who dared to challenge our authority have been defeated." On the far edge of the solar system, Captain Jake Morrison watched the broadcast from his hidden ship. The Un's Defiance floated silently in the darkness between asteroids. Morrison's hands gripped the arms of his captain's chair. His jaw was tight with anger, but he forced himself to stay calm. His crew needed to see him in control. After 80 months of what the humans called their final war, HFY continued, "Their last military base on Mars has fallen. The species that thought they could fight against 12 civilized worlds has been reduced to scattered groups of refugees." Lieutenant Amy Brooks looked up from her communications station. Her young face was red with rage. "Captain, they're broadcasting this message to every planet in the galaxy. They want everyone to know that humans are finished." Morrison nodded but said nothing. On the main screen, other alien representatives began to speak. The Thrakari delegate, a creature that looked like a giant insect, clicked his mandibles in approval. The Moltesh ambassador, whose species resembled walking trees, swayed back and forth in what Morrison knew was their version of laughter. The human Admiral Lisa Rodriguez and her entire fleet were destroyed 3 days ago at the Battle of Titan, HFY announced. Not a single human warship escaped. Their military power is completely broken. Morrison's tactical officer, Lieutenant Commander Ben Carter, clenched his fists. "Sir, that's not true. Admiral Rodriguez is alive. Her whole fleet is alive." "The plan worked perfectly, I know," Morrison whispered. "But let them think otherwise." On screen, the alien celebration continued. Representatives took turns speaking about humanity as if it was already extinct. They talked about dividing up Earth's former colonies. They discussed which human technologies they would study. They spoke of preserving human artifacts in their museums, like objects from some ancient dead civilization. The Zelithian ambassador raised his arms again. "The human homeworld, Earth, has been placed under our protection. The surviving humans will be moved to reservation planets, where they can live out their remaining years under proper supervision." Morrison's communications officer spoke quietly. "Captain, we're receiving coded messages from other human ships, the Vengeance, the Defiant, the Liberty. They're all reporting in. Operation Ghost Ship was a complete success. For months, human engineers had worked on a desperate plan. They had built fake ships that could explode in spectacular ways while the real vessels escaped using new stealth technology. When the final battle came, the aliens had seen exactly what the humans wanted them to see: burning wreckage. Massive explosions. The complete destruction of the human fleet. But it had all been a lie. The real human ships had slipped away in the confusion. Now they waited in hidden locations throughout the solar system. 47 warships that the galaxy believed were destroyed were actually preparing for something the aliens could not imagine. "Look at them," said Commander Sarah Mitchell, Morrison's second in command. "They're so proud of themselves. They think they've won the greatest victory in galactic history." On screen, the aliens continued their speeches. They talked about how dangerous humans had been. They described human aggression and human unpredictability as threats to galactic peace. They congratulated each other on eliminating such a violent species. "The humans were like a disease," said the Thrakari representative. "They spread from star to star without asking permission. They built colonies wherever they wanted. They refused to accept that older, wiser species should guide them." Morrison stood up slowly. Around him, his bridge crew watched and waited. These men and women were among the last free humans in the galaxy. Everyone else was either dead, captured, or hiding in underground bunkers on Earth and the colonies. They made one big mistake, Morrison said quietly. They assumed we would fight fair. They thought we would follow their rules. They believed we would act with honor, even when they showed us no honor in return. The alien broadcast was reaching its end. Kethvari stepped forward for his final statement. Let this day be remembered throughout the galaxy. The human threat has been eliminated. Never again will their reckless behavior endanger our peaceful civilization. The galaxy is safe. The transmission ended with images of alien ships in orbit around Earth. The planet looked dead and defeated. Smoke rose from its major cities. No human spacecraft could be seen anywhere, but Morrison knew the truth. Hidden beneath Earth's surface, millions of humans waited in secret bunkers. The smoking cities were mostly empty buildings. The real population had been evacuated weeks ago. The aliens were occupying a world that looked defeated but was actually preparing for war. Lieutenant Brooks, Morrison said, his voice steady and calm. Open a channel to all hidden human vessels. Use the emergency frequency. It's time to send our own message to the galaxy. Brooks' fingers moved quickly over her controls. Channel open, sir. All ships are standing by. Morrison looked at the star field on his main screen. Somewhere out there, the aliens were celebrating. Their victory. They were dividing up human territory. They were planning how to rule over the scattered survivors. They had no idea what was coming. This is Captain Jake Morrison to all human forces, he began. Phase 1 is complete. The aliens believe we are defeated. They think our fleet is destroyed and our people are helpless. Now we show them what happens when you try to exterminate the human race. He paused, looking at each member of his crew. Begin Phase 2. Operation Phoenix starts now. The galaxy was about to learn that reports of humanity's death had been greatly exaggerated. 3 hours after the aliens finished their victory broadcast, Admiral Lisa Rodriguez crawled out of a maintenance shaft on the UNS Vengeance. Her uniform was torn and dirty. Burns marked her jacket from the fake explosion that was supposed to have killed her. But her eyes were bright with determination. Captain Tony Bennett waited for her in the corridor. His face showed relief when he saw her climb out of the narrow tunnel. Admiral, welcome back to the land of the living. Rodriguez brushed dust from her uniform. Status report, Captain. Did our little magic show convince them? Bennett led her toward the bridge. Around them, the ship hummed with quiet activity. Crew members moved through the corridors like ghosts, keeping noise to a minimum. The Vengeance was running on silent mode, invisible to alien sensors. Operation Lazarus worked perfectly, Bennett said as they walked. 47 ships reported as destroyed. All 47 are actually hidden and operational. The alien scanners picked up exactly what we wanted them to see. They entered the bridge, where Commander Kate Sullivan looked up from her station. Admiral, the pyrotechnic charges performed better than expected. The fake explosions were so realistic that even some of our own people thought the ships were really gone, Rodriguez smiled grimly. For 6 months, human engineers had worked on this desperate plan. They had studied alien sensor technology captured from previous battles. They had learned how alien scanners detected ships and explosions. Then they had built devices that could fool those sensors completely. When the final battle came, each human ship had deployed holographic projectors and explosive charges. The aliens saw massive explosions and ship destructions that looked completely real. Meanwhile, the actual human vessels used new stealth systems to slip away undetected. Show me the tactical display, Rodriguez ordered. Sullivan activated the main screen. Dozens of green dots appeared, scattered throughout the solar system. Each dot represented a human warship that the galaxy believed was destroyed. The dots were hidden in asteroid fields, behind planets, and in the dark spaces between worlds. Every ship is in position and ready for Phase 2, Sullivan reported. The aliens have no idea we exist. Rodriguez studied the display. What about the colonies? Are our people safe? All civilian evacuations completed on schedule, Bennett replied. Governor Hayes got every person off Mars 2 weeks before the aliens arrived. They're bombing empty mining facilities and abandoned settlements. And Earth? Rodriguez asked. The same deception is working there, Sullivan said. Major cities appear to have skeleton populations of defeated humans. The aliens think they're occupying a broken world. They don't know that the real population moved into underground bunkers months ago. The underground facilities had been humanity's greatest secret. While the aliens planned their invasion, human engineers had been digging. Vast complexes now existed beneath every major human world. These bunkers could support millions of people for years. Rodriguez walked to the command chair and sat down. The aliens made one critical error in judgment. They assumed we would fight like them. They expected honor and straightforward tactics. They thought we would meet them in open battle and accept defeat when we were outnumbered. She activated her personal communicator. They never considered that a species facing extinction might choose to appear dead while planning revenge. Lieutenant Commander Ryan Hayes, the ship's intelligence officer, turned from his station. Admiral, we've been monitoring alien communications since their victory speech. They're already arguing about who gets what pieces of human territory. Show. Me, Rodriguez said. Hayes brought up intercepted alien transmissions. The bridge crew listened as Zelothian commanders discussed claiming Earth's industrial worlds. Thrakari generals wanted the agricultural colonies. Moltesh scientists demanded access to human research facilities. They're treating our entire civilization like treasure to be divided up, Hayes said with disgust. Rodriguez's expression hardened. Let them argue. While they're busy dividing up an empire they think is dead, we'll prepare to show them what human extinction really looks like. But it won't be our extinction. She stood and walked to the tactical station. Captain Bennett, signal all hidden vessels. Commander's meeting in 2 hours. We need to coordinate the next phase. Admiral, Sullivan said, our stealth technology is holding perfectly. The aliens have no idea we're here. But once we attack, they'll know we survived. We'll lose the advantage of surprise. True, Rodriguez agreed. But we'll only need surprise for about 10 minutes. After that, it won't matter what they know. Dr. Ellen Pierce appeared on the communications screen from her hidden laboratory on Earth. The scientist looked tired but excited. Admiral, Project Prometheus is ready for deployment. We have 12,000 units completed, with more coming off the production line every hour. Rodriguez nodded. Doctor, remind me again what these devices will do to alien ships. Pierce's eyes gleamed with scientific pride. Each unit will penetrate any known alien shield technology. Once inside a ship's hull, it will destabilize the quantum foam that holds matter together. The target vessel will simply cease to exist at the atomic level. And you're certain about the range and accuracy? Rodriguez asked. I've run the simulations 800 times. Pierce replied. Each device has a range of 50,000 kilometers and can target any ship larger than a fighter craft. The aliens' heavy cruisers and battleships will be completely defenseless. Commander. Hayes turned to Rodriguez. Admiral, intelligence reports that alien fleets are positioned around their major worlds in parade formations. They're celebrating their victory with military displays. Their ships are clustered together like sitting ducks. Rodriguez felt a cold satisfaction settle in her chest. Perfect. They're so confident in their victory that they've abandoned basic military precautions. She activated the ship's general communication system. Attention all crew, this is Admiral Rodriguez. 3 hours ago, the galaxy watched our supposed funeral. They saw our fleet destroyed and our people defeated. They celebrated the end of the human threat to their perfect order. Her voice carried throughout the ship. What they don't know is that humanity has never been more dangerous than when we appear to be dead. Today, we stop hiding. Today, we remind the galaxy why they should have made absolutely certain we were extinct before they started celebrating. Captain Bennett stepped forward. Admiral, all ship commanders are standing by for orders. Rodriguez looked at the tactical display one more time. 47 human warships, invisible to alien sensors, waited for her command. Each ship carried weapons that could destroy entire enemy fleets. Each crew was composed of volunteers who had lost friends and family to alien aggression. "Send the signal to all vessels," Rodriguez ordered. "Operation Phoenix begins in 3 hours. Target selection is complete. Each ship has its assigned alien fleet to eliminate." She paused, thinking of all the humans who had died in the fake battles. They had sacrificed themselves to sell the deception, to make the aliens believe the lie of human defeat. "Gentlemen and ladies," Rodriguez said to her crew, "we're about to answer the galaxy's victory celebration with a demonstration of human ingenuity. They wanted to see our extinction. Instead, they're going to witness theirs." The bridge crew moved to their stations with quiet efficiency. Around them, the UN's vengeance prepared for war. In 3 hours, the galaxy would discover that humanity was very much alive, very angry, and very well armed. Dr. Ellen Pierce stood in the massive underground factory beneath the Colorado mountains. The facility stretched for miles in every direction, carved from solid rock 3 years ago. Above her, the aliens thought they were occupying a defeated Earth. Below ground, humanity was preparing to change the balance of power in the galaxy. "Production report," Pierce said to her assistant. Dr. Gary Williams. Williams checked his tablet computer. 12,000 units completed and ready for deployment. The assembly lines are producing 800 more every hour. At this rate, we'll have enough devices to target every alien ship in known space. Pierce picked up one of the finished devices. It looked like a simple metal cylinder, no bigger than a coffee cup. The surface was smooth and featureless. Nothing about it suggested the incredible destructive power contained within. "Hard to believe something so small can destroy a battleship," Williams said. "The most dangerous things usually are small," Pierce replied. "A virus can kill a giant. A bullet can stop an army. These little devices will end alien supremacy in the galaxy." Colonel Steve Parker, the facility's military coordinator, approached them. His uniform was wrinkled from sleeping in his office for 3 days straight. "Doctor, Admiral Rodriguez needs final confirmation on the weapon specifications." "Are you absolutely certain about the destructive yield?" Pierce had been asked this question dozens of times. Each time she gave the same answer. "Colonel, I've run every possible simulation. Each device will penetrate any known shield technology and destabilize matter at the quantum level. An alien ship hit by one of these will simply cease to exist." Parker nodded but looked worried. "And you're sure our own ships will be safe?" "We can't afford to accidentally destroy our own fleet." "The devices are programmed with human ship identification codes," Pierce explained. "They will ignore any vessel broadcasting the proper signal. Only alien ships are at risk." Around them, the factory continued its work. Robotic assembly lines built the quantum destabilization devices with mechanical precision. Human technicians monitored the process, making sure every unit met exact specifications. Pierce walked to a viewing window that looked out over the main production floor. The aliens made a crucial mistake when they invaded Earth. They assumed our most important facilities were on the surface. They never imagined we might have built our real industrial capacity underground. Williams joined her at the window. 3 years of secret construction. Moving equipment and materials without anyone noticing. It's amazing we pulled it off. "Desperation makes people creative," Pierce said. "When you know extinction is coming, you find ways to do impossible things." Meanwhile, in orbit around the outer planets, the hidden human fleet prepared for the most ambitious military operation in human history. Commander Pete Nelson briefed his stealth fighter pilots aboard the UN's Shadow. "Each of you has memorized your target assignments," Nelson said to the assembled pilots. "The aliens have positioned their fleets in celebration formations around their homeworlds. They're not expecting any threat." Pilot Sandra Lee raised her hand. "Sir, the new stealth fighters haven't been tested in real combat." "Are we certain they can get past alien sensors?" Nelson smiled confidently. "Lieutenant Lee, our stealth technology is based on principles the aliens haven't discovered yet. While they were building bigger guns and stronger armor, we were learning how to become invisible. The stealth fighters were humanity's newest secret weapon. They used a combination of advanced materials and energy manipulation to bend light and sensor beams around their hulls. To alien scanners, the fighters would appear to be empty space. Your mission is simple, Nelson continued. Fly to your assigned targets, deploy the quantum devices, and return home. The devices will do the rest. Each fighter carries enough units to eliminate an entire alien fleet. Pilot Derek Shaw, a veteran with over 200 combat missions, looked skeptical. Commander, what if the aliens detect us anyway? What if their sensors are better than we think? Then we adapt and overcome, Nelson replied. That's what humans do. We survive when survival seems impossible. Back on Earth, communications specialist Maria Santos worked on humanity's response to the alien victory broadcast. Her facility was hidden beneath the ruins of New York City. Above ground, alien patrols walked through empty streets. Below, Santos prepared a message that would shock the galaxy. General Turner, the transmission array is ready, Santos reported to her commanding officer. We can reach every inhabited system in the galaxy simultaneously. General Paul Turner studied the prepared broadcast script. Maria, this message will either restore human dignity or make us look like monsters to every species in the galaxy. Maybe both. Sir, after what they did to our people, after their celebration of our supposed extinction, I think the galaxy needs to see what humans are really capable of when we stop being polite. Turner activated the recording equipment. Begin the broadcast. Preparation. Make sure every word is perfect. The galaxy is about to learn that humanity is not extinct. They're about to discover what we've been doing while they thought we were dead. In another underground facility, this one beneath the ruins of Washington, D.C., Admiral Rodriguez met with her senior commanders via secure quantum communication. The faces of 47 ship captains appeared on her screens. Ladies and gentlemen, Rodriguez began, in 2 hours we execute Operation Phoenix. Our stealth fighters will deploy quantum weapons against alien fleets throughout the galaxy. Simultaneously, we will broadcast our response to their victory celebration. Captain Morrison spoke from his position near Pluto. Admiral, once we attack, there's no going back. The aliens will know we survived. They'll hunt us with everything they have. True, Rodriguez agreed. But by the time they realize what's happening, it will be too late. Their fleets will be destroyed. Their military advantage will be gone. For the first time since this war began, humans will hold the superior position. Commander Sullivan, Rodriguez's tactical officer, brought up a galactic map. Red dots marked alien fleet positions. Green arrows showed the planned attack routes. For human stealth fighters, timing is critical, Sullivan explained. All attacks must happen simultaneously. If even one alien fleet escapes, they could warn the others. Rodriguez studied the tactical display. Our pilots are the best in human space. They won't fail us. Dr. Pierce appeared on the communication screen from her underground laboratory. Admiral, the quantum devices are loaded onto the fighters. Each pilot has enough firepower to eliminate their assigned targets completely. And the broadcast? Rodriguez asked. Santos answered from her facility in New York. Ready to transmit, Admiral. The moment our fighters begin their attacks, the galaxy will hear humanity's response to their victory celebration. Rodriguez felt the weight of human survival on her shoulders. Everything they had worked for, everything they had sacrificed, came down to the next few hours. Final equipment checks, she ordered. All pilots to their fighters, all communication arrays to standby. In 90 minutes, the galaxy discovers that humanity is not only alive, but very, very angry. Around the solar system, 47 warships prepared for battle. Underground facilities completed final preparations. Stealth fighters powered up their engines. The galaxy thought humanity was extinct. They were about to learn how wrong they were. At exactly 0300 Galactic Standard Time, Admiral Kethvari was enjoying a victory feast aboard his flagship when everything went wrong. He was celebrating with his senior officers when Sub-Commander Yithmo burst into the dining hall. "Admiral." "We have a problem," Yithmo gasped, his breathing rapid with panic. "The Third Fleet at Proxima Colony has gone silent. All 68 ships just disappeared from our sensors." Kethvari set down his drink slowly. "Disappeared? What do you mean?" "Disappeared?" "Sir, their quantum signatures just vanished. No distress signals, no weapons fire detected. They simply stopped existing on our scanners." Before Kethvari could respond, more reports began flooding in. The communications officer announced that the Fifth Fleet at Alpha Centauri had also vanished. Then the Ninth Fleet at Volf 359. All across the galaxy, alien vessels were simply ceasing to exist. "This is impossible," Kethvari hissed. "The humans have no weapons capable of such destruction. We destroyed their entire fleet 3 days ago." That was when every view screen in the galaxy activated simultaneously. The image that appeared showed Admiral Lisa Rodriguez, very much alive, sitting in the command center of a human warship. Behind her, tactical displays showed the real-time positions of every alien fleet in known space. Rodriguez looked directly into the camera with cold, determined eyes. "Greetings, Galactic Council," Rodriguez said with deadly calm. "I am Admiral Lisa Rodriguez of the United Earth Forces. I believe you have been celebrating our destruction somewhat early." Kethvari's dining hall fell completely silent. Every guest stared at the screens in horror. The human they thought was dead was speaking to them from what was clearly a fully operational warship. "For 18 months, you have attacked our colonies, enslaved our people, and tried to erase our species from existence," Rodriguez continued. "You have done this while claiming to represent civilization and order. Today we respond." The display behind Rodriguez changed to show a map of the galaxy. Red markers indicated alien fleet positions. As the aliens watched in growing terror, red markers began disappearing one by one. "What you are witnessing is humanity's gift to the galaxy. Each of your fleets is being eliminated by weapons that exist beyond your understanding of physics. Your shields cannot stop them. Your armor cannot protect you. Your ships are being destroyed at the molecular level." Dr. Ellen Pierce appeared beside Rodriguez on the transmission. Her face showed no emotion as she explained the science behind the alien destruction. "The devices currently dissolving your vessels work by destabilizing quantum foam. This is the foundation that all matter is built upon. When we destabilize it, your ships simply stop existing." By now, alien command centers throughout the galaxy were in complete chaos. Nearly 40% of their combined fleets had vanished without any explanation. No weapon signatures had been detected. No enemy ships had been spotted. Their vessels were just gone. Commander Pete Nelson's stealth fighters moved through, space-like invisible ghosts. Each fighter was completely undetectable to alien sensors. Pilot Sandra Lee approached the massive Zelithian battleship Dominator, the flagship of their 7th Fleet. "Target acquired," Lee reported over her secure communication system. "Deploying quantum devices now." She released 6 small cylinders from her fighter's weapon bay. The devices flew toward the alien battleship, passing through its shields as if they did not exist. Within seconds, the massive warship began to dissolve. Its hull faded away like smoke. Its weapon systems vanished. The ship that had destroyed a dozen human colonies simply stopped being real. "Dominator eliminated," Lee reported. Moving to secondary targets, all around the galaxy, similar scenes played out. Human stealth fighters delivered their quantum weapons with deadly precision. Alien fleets that had seemed invincible just hours before were reduced to expanding clouds of particles. "You called us primitive," Rodriguez said, her voice carrying to every inhabited world. "You said our aggression was reckless and dangerous. You were wrong on every count. We are not primitive. We are innovative. We are not recklessly aggressive. We are strategically patient." The transmission showed footage of the fake battle 3 days earlier. Alien viewers watched as human ships appeared to explode and burn. Then the image changed to show the same. Ships, completely undamaged, emerging from their hiding places. Most importantly, Rodriguez continued, we are very much not extinct. Admiral Kethvari watched his entire fleet disappear from the tactical displays. Ships that had taken decades to build vanished in seconds. Crews of thousands simply ceased to exist. The power of the Galactic Council was being erased before his eyes. How? He whispered to himself. How did they do this? On screen, Rodriguez seemed to hear his question. You assumed we would fight according to your rules. You expected honor and straightforward tactics. You thought we would meet you in open battle and accept defeat gracefully. She paused, her eyes showing no mercy. You forgot that humans are survivors. When faced with extinction, we become something you never expected. We become dangerous in ways you cannot predict or defend against. The broadcast continued for 10 more minutes. Rodriguez calmly explained how humanity had faked its own destruction. She described the underground facilities that had continued weapons development while aliens celebrated above. She showed the stealth technology that had kept the human fleet hidden. Your victory celebration was premature, Rodriguez said as the transmission neared its end. You were dancing on what you thought was humanity's grave. Instead, you were standing on your own. By the time the broadcast ended, 3/4 of the alien fleets had been eliminated. The remaining ships were scattered and panicked. Many were already broadcasting surrender signals. Colonel Parker watched the tactical reports flow in from his underground command center. It's working perfectly, he told Dr. Pierce. Alien fleet strength is down to 25% of pre-attack levels. Their military superiority is completely broken. Pierce nodded with grim satisfaction. The quantum devices performed exactly as designed. Every alien ship targeted has been eliminated with no damage to our own forces. General Turner received final reports from all attack groups. Phase 1 complete, he announced. Alien naval power has been neutralized. We can now proceed to Phase 2. Rodriguez appeared on his communication screen. General, what's the status of alien ground forces? Confused and demoralized, Turner replied. They're receiving contradictory orders from their homeworlds. Many units are requesting immediate evacuation. Good, Rodriguez said. Begin broadcasting surrender terms. Make it clear that any alien forces that lay down their weapons will be treated according to human standards of warfare. Any that continue fighting will be eliminated. The message was transmitted on all frequencies. Within hours, alien commanders throughout human space began surrendering their forces. The troops that had been occupying Earth and the colonies found themselves surrounded by humans emerging from underground bunkers the galaxy had received humanity's response to their victory celebration. The species they thought was extinct had revealed itself to be more dangerous than ever. The balance of power had shifted in a single day dot as Admiral Rodriguez looked at the tactical displays showing alien fleet positions. She allowed herself a small smile. The red markers that had once threatened human extinction were gone. In their place, green markers showed human ships emerging from hiding throughout the galaxy. The age of alien dominance was over. The age of human vengeance had begun. 6 months after the galaxy watched alien fleets disappear, Ambassador Carol Henderson walked into the Galactic Council chambers. The same hall where aliens had celebrated humanity's destruction now hosted very different proceedings. The surviving alien delegates sat in uncomfortable silence as Henderson took her place at the speaking platform. Gone was the arrogant superiority that had marked their previous meetings. In its place was something humans had rarely seen from their former enemies, genuine fear mixed with desperate respect. Honorable delegates, Henderson began, her voice carrying easily through the quiet chamber. We gather today to establish new rules for galactic civilization. As the representative of the Human Federation, I want to make several things perfectly clear. Admiral Jake Morrison stood beside her in his dress uniform. He was no longer hiding in asteroid fields or running silent operations. The uniform he wore bore the insignia of the Solar Defense Force, now recognized as the dominant military power in the galaxy. Behind Henderson, holographic displays showed the current strength of human forces. 47 warships had become 200. Hidden shipyards throughout human space had been working at full capacity. The species the aliens thought was extinct now commanded the largest fleet in galactic history. First, let us discuss the casualties from our recent conflict, Henderson continued with clinical calm. Preliminary reports indicate that the Galactic Council lost approximately 60% of its combined fleet strength. Human casualties numbered fewer than 30,000, mostly volunteers who remained behind to make our deception believable. The Thrakari delegate, Overlord Vashti, shifted nervously in his biomechanical chair. His insect-like features twitched with anxiety. Ambassador Henderson, surely you understand that our actions were necessary to preserve galactic stability. Human expansion was becoming a threat to established order. Henderson's smile was polite but cold as winter. Overlord Vashti, that argument might have been valid 6 months ago. Today, humanity commands the strongest military force in this galaxy, and we achieved that position while you believed we were extinct. Perhaps it is time to reconsider who represents a threat to whom. Dr. Ellen Pierce, now serving as the Human Federation's chief science advisor, activated a presentation that made several alien delegates recoil in obvious terror. The display showed 17 different weapon systems, each more advanced than anything the aliens possessed. Our quantum destabilization technology was just the beginning, Pierce explained matter-of-factly. While you celebrated our defeat, our research teams completed development of weapons that operate on scientific principles your species have not discovered. We can now eliminate entire star systems if necessary. The alien delegates exchanged worried glances. Some whispered frantically to their aides. Others sat in stunned silence, finally understanding the true scope of their miscalculation. However, Henderson interjected before panic could spread, humanity is not interested in genocide or galactic domination. We are proposing a new model for interstellar civilization, one based on mutual respect rather than the hierarchical oppression you have practiced. She gestured to Admiral Morrison, who stepped forward with a data tablet containing the proposed treaty. His expression was serious but not threatening. The Human Federation offers a simple choice to every species represented here. Join us as equals in exploring the galaxy, sharing technology, and advancing together. Or continue the old ways of conquest and subjugation alone. The Zelithian representative, Sub-Admiral Kethram, had been promoted after his superior died when the flagship was destroyed. He spoke hesitantly, his voice shaking slightly. What guarantees can you offer that humanity will not use its superior technology to enslave us as we attempted to do to you? Morrison answered with the direct honesty that had become humanity's trademark in diplomatic relations. None whatsoever, Sub-Admiral. You will have to trust us, just as you expected us to trust you. The difference is that human history suggests we prefer cooperation to conquest, while your history suggests the opposite. Henderson activated another display showing human colonies throughout the galaxy. For 3 centuries, humans have been expanding into space. In all that time, we have never enslaved another species. We have never demanded tribute from weaker civilizations. We have never claimed superiority based on technological advancement. The display changed to show alien civilizations and their histories of conquest. Your species, on the other hand, have built empires on the subjugation of others. You have enslaved dozens of species. You have demanded tribute from hundreds of worlds. You claim the right to determine humanity's fate based solely on your technological advantages. Overlord Vashti clicked his mandibles nervously. But surely you understand our concerns. Human expansion was rapid and unpredictable. We feared you would become a threat to galactic peace. So you decided to eliminate us before we could become dangerous, Henderson replied. You attempted genocide based on fear of what we might do someday? Now you sit here asking us to guarantee. We will not do what you actually did. The chamber fell silent. Several delegates looked down at their hands or equivalent appendages. The moral weight of Henderson's words was undeniable. Dr. Pierce stepped forward again. Let me be clear about something else. Human weapons technology has advanced far beyond what you witnessed 6 months ago. We can now create devices that selectively target genetic markers. We could eliminate specific species without harming others. We could sterilize entire worlds while leaving the ecosystems intact. The temperature in the chamber seemed to drop several degrees. Some delegates began shaking visibly. But we will not use these capabilities, Pierce continued, because that would make us like you. Humanity chooses a different path. Henderson resumed control of the presentation. The Human Federation proposes the Galactic Cooperation Accords. These agreements will establish rules for interstellar relations based on equality and mutual benefit. No species will claim superiority over another. No civilization will be enslaved or subjugated. All conflicts will be resolved through negotiation, rather than force. Admiral Morrison added, any species that violates these accords will face the combined response of all signatories. Humanity will provide the military enforcement, but decisions about intervention will be made collectively. The Moltesh representative, whose tree-like appearance made emotional expressions difficult to read, spoke for the first time. And if we refuse to sign these accords, what then? Henderson's expression remained neutral. Then you continue as you always have, with one important difference. Humanity will no longer tolerate threats to our existence or the existence of species under our protection. Any aggressive action against human interests will result in immediate and overwhelming retaliation. She paused to let the implications sink in. You have seen what we can do when we appear to be defeated and helpless. Imagine what we can accomplish when we are not hiding our capabilities. Morrison stepped forward with the treaty documents. The choice is simple. Join us in building a better galaxy or face us as enemies. But understand that the age of alien supremacy is over forever. Admiral Kethram was the first to speak. The Zelithian Empire will sign the Galactic Cooperation Accords. We have learned the cost of underestimating humanity. One by one, the other delegates agreed. Some did so eagerly, hoping to curry favor with the new dominant power. Others signed reluctantly, understanding they had no real choice. Henderson concluded the session with words that would be remembered throughout galactic history. The age of conquest is ending. The age of cooperation begins today. Humanity has shown you what we can do when threatened with extinction. Now we will show you what we can accomplish when working together. As the delegates filed out to contact their home governments, many were already planning how to adapt to the new reality. The galaxy had a new dominant species, but unlike their predecessors, humans seemed genuinely interested in building rather than destroying. The species that had nearly been exterminated 6 months earlier now held the future of galactic civilization in their hands. The question was whether they would use that power wisely. Time would tell, but for the first time in galactic history, the dominant species was offering partnership instead of demanding submission. It was a lesson the galaxy would not soon forget.